Hi everyone, today we're going to introduce you to a flow that you might not know that it is a thing. So what we're going to flow today, it's yoga, it's yin yoga. This style is a style that you flow more towards the floor, so it's much more a stretchy, slow through the floor style of yoga. So what I like about this is that it requires just a very small room and a, maybe a little bit or a lot of props. So it really depends of you, how much you like to use props. I like to use a lot of props. I feel like this is one of the time that I want to be comfortable and I want to feel good just because we're going to be holding for a little bit longer. So go ahead and find yourself a block. You can have a block, you can have a bolster or a pillow or something from the couch or anything that you find yourself to prop that you have over there where you are. So if you're in a living room, maybe one of those pillows that you find on the couch, on the top of the couch, and really anything. So we're going to start with child's pose, and what I like you to do over here is to have your toes touching toes, and we're going to let the knees to be a little bit wider than the hip, and then go ahead and allow yourself to slowly bow down towards the floor. So we're going to lean towards the floor into a child's pose. We're taking 5 breaths and then we're going to transition from other pose from there. So go ahead and let yourself to relax the forehead on the floor, let your spine to relax, let the hands to relax. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Just slowly allowing yourself to bring the awareness into your body, slowly noticing everything that happens as you breathe. And exhale, noticing your spine. Letting go any tension on your back. Breathe in. And exhale. Awesome. So getting ready to move, we're going to bring the hands, bring the awareness to your hands and slowly pressing the hands against the floor and coming up into a tabletop. So hands gonna come right under your shoulders, your knees gonna come all the way down toward underneath, maybe a little bit wider. And we're going to slide your right leg towards the back. So go ahead and slide the right leg towards the back, bring your toes to touch the floor and tucking the toes so you feel a nice beautiful stretch on the back of your leg and your calves, and just noticing the awareness that we're bringing all the way towards the heel. You should be able to feel in the whole back of your leg. And then go ahead and right leg, it's going to bend, and we're going to bring the right leg to almost touch your right hands. So it's gonna look like this. I'm bringing my knees to the chest and then sliding the leg through. And this is a lizard pose. So lizard pose are proud swan. So there's different names here. We're going to take a nice and a deep breath. There is you can use a block over here to support yourself and maybe even lifting and bringing your thorax, your sternum up towards the ceiling. Let your neck to be nice and long. Take a deep breath here and exhale, and slowly finding what feels comfortable to you. Breathe in, exhale. You can always having the palms, the hands on the floor, and again you can always have a little stool. You can always use a block or a few stack of books right in front of you to elevate your chest, to elevate yourself a little bit up. So you prop yourself a little bit up, there's less intensity on your hips, so that's a nice thing to do sometimes. So you're really working on feeling good and not pushing yourself throughout the limits, because we hold a little bit longer than we usually hold through all the other classes. This is a place where you should feel yourself nice and comfortable, not a place where you should push yourself as hard as you can right here. So take another deep breath in. And exhale. And just noticing what it feels in each leg, noticing how it feels on the hand. So maybe sometimes if you feel that you need to come again towards the tip of the finger, maybe one hand may want to come up, and maybe the other hands might want to take a quick and come up. So we're going to be ready to move to the next one, and it's going to be on the right leg again. What we're going to do is slowly start to bring the hip towards the back, and then slide. Be mindful with your right knee. We're going to slide your right leg through the side. So the right leg is nice and nice and straight out from the hip. Your toes gonna be pointing forward. We're going to slowly sink towards the back. So as we sink towards the back, this is one leg, child's pose. You can bring the hands down towards the floor. You can use your block here to prop yourself up again, or your bolster. So take another deep breath in. And exhale. Nice. And again, we're going to be getting ready to move again. Go ahead and slowly allow yourself to come all the way back up and move the blocks away. Come all the way back into a full child's pose. So your right leg will bend. And you can bring the bolster with you. You can do a little bit of propped, supported child's pose. You can bring a block under to raise your bolster. And slowly let yourself to come down. So the block, if you're using a long pillow, you can pretty much just bring the pillow in between the legs, in between the thighs, and then let yourself to come forward. The hands can come on the top of your forehead, right in front of your forehead, to support yourself and create a little bit of space between the nose and the pillow. Or if you like, you can always get a stretch on the side of on your neck, looking to the side, so you can look to the other side as it feels good. I'm breathing nice and slow, noticing how the majesty, the majestic way that your spine is in your body. All the support that your spine creates. I often find that supported child's pose is one of the most relaxing poses. It helps you to ground, to be connected with the earth. Slowly starting to create that sensation that we are one with the universe. You may even notice that your heartbeat starts to slow down. It feels really good. And being ready to move again. So inhale, bringing the awareness to the hands, and it feels so good. I can stay here like all day. We're going to bring the awareness to the hands and coming back into your tabletop. Relax the toe. If you need a little wiggle on the toes, you can. And we're coming back to that same. I'm gonna move this way so you can see me. So the left leg now, it's coming towards the back. So we're just sliding the left leg to the back, and we're going to tuck the toes and slowly rolling towards the heel. So there is a moving towards the back movement that we are doing over here. So when you do that, you're going to feel a nice stretch from your ankle all the way up. So it feels beautiful, especially if you're being sitting all day and need a little bit of stretch in the back of your calves, or maybe you've been running and walking, so this feels amazing. And take a nice and a deep breath here. We're going to be ready to start to bend the left leg and bringing the left leg to step right on the side of the left hand. So here we go. And this is that lizard pose, proud swan. So whichever is that you usually call in your practice. I like to call this as a lizard. So this is lizard for us over here. So take a nice and a deep breath. Feel yourself being taller with each breath. And exhale, slowly finding the ease. And again, it can sometimes be hard for some to have the hands down on the floor like this. And what I find that it helps some of my students is maybe propping themselves to the fingertips. I have some of them that like to stay on the fist, but I really like to have two blocks on here so that I can be a little bit taller, and it helps much more for my wrist. So it is an extra, and it feels really good. So I really recommend you to use your blocks as much as you can in this practice. It's really nice for your body. So wherever you are, finding again that breath coming in and breath out. Just noticing the magic that happens with each breath. And exhale, letting any tension on the hip area to slowly melt away with each breath. Exhale. Nice. And then being ready to move again, we're going to slide the left leg to the side and then to one leg child's pose. So be mindful with the right knee. If you need something to put on the right knee to feel comfortable, maybe even your prop on the back. So go slow, take a deep breath, exhale out, let all there go. You can find yourself nice and relaxed on the floor. Nice, breathe in. And notice that this pose might not be comfortable for everyone. So if this is not a pose that it's available to you right now, or maybe even today, because every day our body is different, or maybe one side is different than the other. So if this is not for you today, allow yourself to honor your body. So always please honor your body and then come back into a child's pose. And then finding even child's pose sometimes might not be the most available pose for yourself. So you really use your intuition and find something that it feels good to take a break from time to time if you need it. Yes. So this should be in a place where your body is happy and we're not holding through any pressure, any pain. So it should feel nice, maybe not quite as relaxing because we're working some muscles that we usually might not be working all the time. So, but don't hold through pain just because. So honor your body, always please honor your body then. We're going to be ready to move, so go ahead and bring the hands down towards the floor, press the hands against or support yourself and walk all the way back. And moving back into that supported child's pose. So toes together, knees gonna be apart. You can slowly bring the hip towards the heels and bring your bolster back in. And bolster can be anything that you find at your house again. Find a nice and comfortable supported child's pose. So let yourself to find what feels good. Maybe if you stayed on the right side of the cheek, and just bringing awareness if you did like this to this side. So if you're bringing the left side of your cheek, maybe this time you can bring the right side of your cheek to balance each side, to balance both sides. And slowly getting ready to come all the way back. We're bringing yourself back into that tabletop. So go ahead and come all the way back to the tabletop. You can move your pillow, your block, or your bolster to the side. And the next one is pigeon. So what we're going to do is bring the right leg forward. So the right leg will come forward. And then heel toe your right leg towards the left side of your mat, or towards the left side of your hands. And then squeeze, so almost like you're trying to bring your heel towards your thigh again. Bend the knee, and then slowly coming to your pigeon. Nice. So as you're here, we're going to stay hands down on the floor. And you want to create a nice line from your hands all the way towards your shoulders. So we are working a little bit more towards creating lengthening through the spine, letting your neck to be nice and long. Find a nice and a comfortable space away from the floor here. And be mindful with your back, be mindful with the leg. There's no pressure. You shouldn't have any pressure on your knees. If you do, let yourself to prop yourself a little bit more away from the floor. And if that feels good, if you're comfortable and that feels good to you, you can go ahead and close your eyes. We're taking 5 breaths, and we're going to slowly notice everything. Notice the breath, notice the body, notice everything that is arising. And we are just not labeling any thoughts, not labeling anything that arises. We're just accepting everything. And being mindful with the body again. So anytime that you need a little break, anytime that you need to take a time for yourself, you can always go back to your safe spot, to your safe pose. And take a break in between. I have been practicing yoga for a couple years, so I can stay in these poses forever, for the whole day, and it doesn't bother my body. But I know that when you're starting to practice, your mind might not be ready for the stillness, or your body might not be ready for a stillness. So there's both sides. So if you anytime you feel like you need to move and you need to find your inner resource, where you find yourself nice and safe again, and finding yourself nice and comfortable. So let yourself to adjust in any way that feels good to you. So yoga is all about studying about yourself and learning how can you do to make that practice just uniquely yours. So even though we have these poses that we say that it should look like this, you know, everyone have a different body, so everyone should adjust for their own body. And we're getting ready to move again. So go ahead. What I like to do, I like to bring awareness to my left toes first. And then I start to press my knees down towards the floor slightly so that I can tuck the toes behind. And that will make me a little bit feel safer for my body to slowly let myself to move to the right side. So I like to call this as a half pigeon. So my right leg's bent, my left leg is bent. So my toes, I don't know if you can see it, because for me it looks over here that I'm kind of blending with the dark of the floor. So my knees, my left knee is right here, is pointing forward towards that direction, and my toes on the back is pointing towards the back of the room over here. And then this knee over here, it's more towards the diagonal for me. And then my feet over here, it's almost aligned with the left knee. And what I'm gonna do here, we're going to fold forward. So if this folding forward is not comfortable to you, you can stay right here and you can breathe right here, or you can explore yourself and see how close or how comfortable is for you to come down towards the floor. You can adjust your pillow in any way that feels good to you. I feel like this. I like to have a little bit more of, yeah, sometimes I go and top the pillows and make the pillows a little bit higher, and you know, you can put your energy here. So just kidding. We're going to come all the way down, and this is what I like to a few pillows is that you can start to fold them into bigger, or maybe even a couple towels or anything that is in your house that you can fold it. So this feels beautiful. It feels amazing, and it's better when you can be propped higher, unless you're very flexible. But still, we are not looking to make you more flexible with these poses. It's just looking into your nervous system, to letting all the muscles to get into your breath and align your body and mind. Let your mind to be connected and be centered. I like Yin Yoga more because of what all the benefit that brings to my body and mind than the actual stretch part. So we're going to slowly let yourself to bring yourself back to the breath. Exhale. And the mind, I always wonder, we actually have about 1,000, maybe millions of thoughts every second. So if any time that you feel that your mind has too many things going on, always go back to the breath. It's always okay to think. And once you notice that you are coming out of your mind is coming out of the practice, you're grabbing your mind, come all the way back, bring awareness to the breath, see what is going on with the body. It's time for us to move. So now we're coming all the way back, and we're going to recline towards the back, meaning we're going to bring that pillow, that nice pillow, to the back, and then we're going to bring the back to the pillow. So if you need in any way to maybe unwind the leg, maybe a little bit here and a little bit here, so recline it. As you recline, let yourself to feel nice and comfortable. I do feel that in the reclining form, it is much better to be a little bit more lifted. So if you have a couple books that you can put under your block, you can do that, and it's quite comfortable. Now, if I had a little pillow for my head, and something that I find that is really awesome. So right here where I am, you can't see it, but we have Poppy exposed right in the ceiling, so I can bring my eyes and my gaze and focus on one of the poppies over here and just kind of look at them, look at their eyes, and noticing the puppy eyes. And just breathing in, noticing every breath. You can invite yourself to close your eyes and awesome. So to come out, you can always come all the way straight out. I like sometimes to just roll to the side and walk my hands all the way back. Nice. And we're going to do the other side. So go ahead and bring the leg back to a tabletop. So tabletop is our resetting pose. So we're going to come back into a tabletop. Nice. And then the left leg will step forward and heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, all the way towards the right side of your hands. And then bring it in. So heel can come towards almost like to the outer side of your right leg. And you can slide the other leg towards the back. And you can find your pillow or find your blocks or find your books or find a puppy that is laying close to you or anything. Maybe get all the kids that are like maybe bothering you and just say like, hey kid, come over here so you can be my bolster. So find yourself nice and comfortable, or maybe ask your husband to be into a child's pose so you can be on the top of him like this. So beautiful things that you can do as a partner in yoga too. So you can always do this with your husbands or your kids to do yoga with you. Yeah, this is fun. So take a nice and a deep breath. Your gaze can be to your right side. The gaze can be to your left side, or your head can be down towards the floor. Nice, breathe in. And notice that on this side over here, I'm showing to you with the prop, but on the other side, if you didn't do with the prop, usually what I like is, unless there is something in that side that maybe you're very tight and you really need the prop, but if you feel same with both sides, try to do the same thing the same way that you do one side. Try to do the other side as well, so they're equal. Nice. And then preparing, getting ready to rise up. So as you rise up, hands gonna be down on the floor. So we're going to have the hands right under the shoulders and let the neck to be nice and long. Notice that it's a very calming flow. And sometimes these flows you can even do on your bed. I think they are actually sometimes even more comfortable to be on your bed, just because you might have a little bit of given for your knees and the legs. And I don't know, just feels comfortable to be on a bed and nice and cushy. So it's a good thing that we have this. It can be some grateful times that we are staying at home. You know, other grateful things that we can do at home. We can do yoga on the top of the bed. And we're getting ready to move to the next one. So remember, we're going to row to the left side of your outer side of your hip. And then go ahead and bend the right leg. So this is the half pigeon. And we're going to slowly come forward. The other side we did with the bolster. So we're going to do this side with the bolster as well. Or if you didn't use the bolster on the other side, go ahead and do without the bolster. And come all the way. And again, this is one of those that it might feel more comfortable to make a little mountain here in front of you. Bring the floor to you. This is one of those things that if you bring the floor to you, feels better. This is one of those things that you can do. Bring the floor to you, bring a puppy towards you, bring a kid towards you. Let them be your mountain. Be a little mindful mountain. Nice exhale. And you can use the gaze to any side. If you did that this way to the other side, try to have your gaze to the other side as well sometimes. And again, letting the muscles in the face to relax, let the muscles in the neck to relax, cheeks, around your eyes. And then slowly letting yourself to come all the way back. So this is when we are going to transition towards the back. So again, there's never enough props. So let yourself to prop as much as you need for this one, or not, your choice. What we're going to do is lean towards the back. If this is not comfortable to you at all, you can just stay here where you are instead of trying to recline. But if it is, or if you have maybe someone that is over there behind you and you can use them right behind you, say like, hey, stay right where you are so I can lean back. My time to lean back, right? So just find that comfortable place, and if you have a block or something to actually even help your head, so your head is not falling towards the back like mine is. So this is when it's really nice to have a couple pillows, a couple blocks. Just take a nice and deep breath in. Exhale. So in here, notice that when you want to recline towards the back, your neck might be like reaching towards the floor, and it might not be comfortable for your neck. So what you can do over here is either add an extra pillow on right at the end, so your neck is nice and comfortable, or you can slide this pillow or your block or whatever you're bringing under bolster or blankets. You can maybe a little bit away from your body so that when you recline, your head is supported. So there you go. There you go. So it's nice and supported. So notice too, when you have a bolster or something for you to recline towards the back, the muscles in the shoulders start to open, and it feels really good. So you're releasing the tension on your neck. Nice. What I like to think sometimes is just as if I think this part is like all these muscles and the joints is like a plastic, and I'm just kind of using the heat of my breath and the posture where I am to allow the plastic to kind of melt and create a new shape, so that from now on my body should be nice and open, nice and relaxed, and inviting the breath to coming into your body and bringing kindness and love and slowly feeling every single things that happens to your body, being open to feel all the good things. And we're getting ready to move again, so I'm just gonna roll to my left side so it's easier for me to come out this way, and slowly come all the way back. So as we come all the way back, the next pose we're going to try is a supported fish pose. So to supported fish pose, sometimes I like to roll a towel so that it's about this size, and it's gonna be right at where your bra, the area of your bra. So this might be a little bit too big for my back, but I'm gonna do with this one. So if you have something that you can roll, maybe a jacket that might be on the side, maybe something, just tell the kids to go get for you because you're occupied doing something nice here. So find something to, I like to be round, and to cover this area over here right under your round soft, and covering this area right under your bra. And you want your armpit to be above so your arms can open, yeah? And you can choose between having your legs wide with a wide leg, or you can choose in between having the feet together. So whichever feels better to you. So my head is really touching the floor. I'm gonna just trying to see which one feels better for myself. If maybe the feet nice and wide, maybe the feet together feels better. So just finding a nice and comfortable position. And as you find, notice how it opens, the arms, the muscles in the arms. Letting the breath to come in and out. And you really feel how those muscles are so tight. And how with each breath you're slowly letting go of the tension. You're just bringing awareness to your breath, and notice your breath. Notice the temperature. And again, this could be a place where your body is new to it, and maybe you'd like to take a break. You can always go to your safe spot again, to where you feel safe, to where it feels comfortable to your body, and take a break. Any pose that feels good to you. And then slowly adjusting again, coming back whenever you feel ready. So taking a nice and a deep breath in through your nostril. And exhale out through your mouth. Inhale. And exhale. Where sometimes the mind starts to wander again when the silence comes. And allow yourself, anytime that happens, acknowledge. And don't worry, that happens to all of us. And slowly starting to bring awareness back to the breath. And noticing any sensation that it feels good to your body. Any place of the body that you know you're noticing already that there is a difference there's something happening in our. Nice. And we're going to take a nice and deep breath. We're slowly working towards the next pose. So go ahead and roll, bend, starting to bend one leg first and then the other leg. And you can either turn to your right or your left leg. I'm going to turn to my right side. I like my right side better for this. I feel like it relaxes the body a little bit more. So I'm rolling to the right, but you can always roll to the left. And if that's your favorite, come all the way back. Always, sometimes I feel like the transition between each pose is nice to do nice and slow. Take your time, catch up with the breath, or just kind of notice what happens between each pose, and just being mindful, bringing the presence of your mind to each breath, noticing as you visualize that breath coming in. So we're going to move to the next pose. On the next pose, we're bringing the bolster under the knees. So go ahead and slide the bolster under the knee, and maybe this is the time when the body starts to get a little bit colder. You might like to use a little blanket on the top. So we're going to lay all the way towards the back. You can again do anything to your bolster to help your body to be more comfortable. So I have to shift my bolster a little bit, and there you go. So here's a couple options with something that you can do with your hands. I like my hands to either be on top of my belly so I can observe the belly movement as I breathe in and out. Or you can bring the hands nice and wide and having the palms up, having the neck, shoulders to be relaxed, and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Deep breath in. And exhale. Nice. And as you close your eyes, I invite you to bring the awareness into your inner landscape. Imagine the air coming in, and visualize as if it's a light and traveling through your body. So notice all the cycle of your breath. And exhale. So letting the muscles in your forehead to start to relax. The muscles between your eyebrow just soften with each breath. The muscles under your eyes just slowly relax. The eyes staying closed, slowly relaxing the muscles behind the eye. So as you take a nice and a deep breath, notice the muscles in your cheeks. Sometimes I have to even move my mouth, but sometimes I have to even open the mouth as wide as I can so that the muscle can relax. So We can do all that together. So just go ahead and open the mouth as wide as you can. Almost like we're yarning, and then go ahead and relax all the muscles. So let the jaw to be relaxed. Let your neck to be relaxed. Let the shoulders to soften. Let go of any tension, any worry. Let the shoulders to starting to be heavy. The muscles in the arm. The muscles in the hands. It's almost like they could melt towards the floor. The muscles in the finger. Letting the muscles in the chest too, almost like if the muscle is melting towards your back. So feel the breath again as it comes in. Notice how grateful we are. Our breath is a thread of life that connects us with the universe and with every single being in the universe. Notice how the breath come in to your body with kindness. There is no need to stress, to worry. So bring awareness to the belly. Letting the belly to be nice and soft. Noticing the rise as you breathe in. Expansion. Exhale. Notice the muscles in your legs. Letting your leg to be heavy. Noticing the muscles in your feet. Exhale. Breath. Notice how the body becomes so relaxed that you can even feel that your body is becoming lighter. And that the floor it's just like a memory foam that you can see. It adjusts to your own body. And bringing awareness back to your breath. As your breath come in, expands your lungs. And I want you to imagine your lungs almost like it's hugging your heart. With each breath as it expands, it hugs your heart. then let the air go out. You're emptying the tummy first. And we're creating a space. Feel that spaciousness around your heart. Feel yourself loved. Feel a place of kindness and compassion. So take another deep breath in. Giving a huge hug to your heart. And exhale, creating space. Take a nice and a deep breath in. We're going to slowly starting to bring awareness back to the hands and feet. Maybe a slow wiggle on the hands. The eyes can still be closed, or the eyes can be open at any time you feel that you need the eyes open. And notice that there's a feeling of heaviness on the hands and feet. It just feels so good to stay here. And we're moving slowly. And we're all moving to start to roll anytime that you can. So take your time, no rush. We're going to roll to the right side. Taking 3 breaths on your right, and then we're meeting all together into a seated pose. To make yourself even more comfortable, you can go ahead and sit on the top of your block, blanket, or any prop that you were using, so it feels more comfortable. We're going to bring the hands to on the top of your knees. Take 1 deep breath here, and exhale, and then hands to the heart center. Lights within me sees and honors the lights within me. Namaste. And have a wonderful Mother's Day to all mothers. May you all be healthy. May all be healthy. May all be happy. May all enjoy this beautiful day.